Hello, Dr. Karen here. Welcome to another edition of the Spiritual Medicine Digest. I am no longer in Aruba, but I thought you may like to have a nice picture of Aruba today. So last week, I got censored off of YouTube. So if you're wondering where last week's Spiritual Medicine Digest is, well, it's on Odyssey. And the reason why is because YouTube found an old Spiritual Medicine Digest video of mine entitled Scientific Proof of the Healing Properties of Love. Yes, that got pulled off YouTube, and I got my second of 3 strikes. Not that I'm preferring 3 strikes. However, the cool thing is that we know that we're getting closer and closer to the truth, right? If big tech is censoring stuff on love. Wow. Wow. So it got to be a fabulous conversation piece when I was in Aruba with all these business people and YouTubers and Instagram influencers. It was very, very interesting to talk about that. And this week's topic is actually on love, and not just any love, but big love. But before I go on and talk about that, if you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and notification bell if you'd like to get a ding every time I have a new video available. Big love. Now, I have been asking source questions about love for a while because oftentimes there was an answer related to whatever I'm asking, and it has to do with love. Of late, however, because I'm so used to asking about universal love and everyone talking about universal love being kind of the thing, right? Like, I was quite surprised when Source said the answer was not universal love to whatever I was asking. It happened a couple of times, and I said, well, okay, so I kind of thought universal love was the biggest love there was, right? But apparently, the words universal love does not represent what Source has communicated to me, which I now call big love. So let me back up a bit and kind of get into a little bit of nerdy quantum physics stuff. And some of what I describe is what I'm translating from what Source gave me as like a definition of it. So bear with me if I am not speaking in a very precise quantum physics kind of way with Higgs bosons and so on and so forth. Okay. My current understanding is that the 0 point field, and that's where often we lead students to go through that doorway into stillness. Okay, so the 0 point field is the seat of creation. It has unlimited potential to morph, if you will, into form, into whatever it is that is intended. So the singularity, the definition I have is completely different from Ray Kurzweil and a lot of other people. But my understanding of the singularity is kind of like a pinpoint of no thing from which the 0 point field is created. I know it's kind of a holographic description in a way, and our minds try to see it linearly, but that's about the best I can do to explain it visually. So the 0 point field creates everything, if you will, and depending on intention and attention, energy flow, etc., things in 3D are so-called manifest or created. Now, some would argue that it's not really creation, it's just picking out of the quantum that particular possibility and paying attention to it. So therefore, that is the dominant thing that you see. Okay, sure. That could be correct, right? Now, this is where it gets a little weird. So from the singularity is a 0 point field. So the singularity is literally nothing. It's no thing. Then the 0 point field is that ether, some people call it, the pregnant of all possibilities field of everything. And the first thing that's manifested from that field, which then creates everything, that's big love. Universal love is a facet of, or maybe a fractal of, big love, but it's not big love exactly. So if we can imagine that big love is the first thing that, if you imagine this field as being spherical, it's probably not, but anyway, if you imagine it as being spherical for the moment, big love would be like the corona, the outside, of this field as the first thing that is created or manifested out of that 0-point field. And thus, big love is the seed from which everything else is created. Now, there is geometry involved, sacred geometry, etc., to create it into whatever form. But here's the really interesting thing. The whole we are all one, kind of get it, right? If we all come from the 0-point field and big love, we are all one. And the funny thing is that some books that I've read or some people that I've listened to still, to this day, differentiate kind of a polarity of, God is love, which is good. I am good or bad is still polarity, but what I'm saying is God is love. I get that, right? They don't say darkness is love. They don't say demons is love. They don't say killing is love. They don't say war is love, right? They're like, no, that's the opposite. But is it really? If big love is the first manifestation of the 0-point field, then we are all made of the same stuff, which is big love. Well, that's interesting. So what that means, if it's true, what that means is that every time we think about those that would hold us back, those that would perpetrate so-called evil doings on others, including, our demons or whatever, that we have co-created in this, universe and reality to be with us, that they are all, at the end of the day, all made of the same substance. Big love. Wow. Yeah, that's kind of a mind bender. So, in other words, of course, it can be really easy to get angry and upset, right, when people do bad things to us. But if we're all made of the same stuff, really, it's just a fractal of us. And some people say, well, we're all source, we're all God. Yeah, I mean, literally, that's true. So it can be really a stretch and difficult because we're so used to polarity, we're so used to good and bad and good and evil and yada, 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 that to entertain the thought that these negative so-called evil beings are coming from love, but not universal love, okay? There's a quality of that, but the actual big love, that we all come from the same place. It actually puts us on a level playing field. And how can one really feel upset over another facet of the same thing because we are all made of the same thing? So things to ponder, things to meditate on, right? I'm just the messenger. I'm just the messenger. So Source wanted me to share that with you this week. Now, the TOLPAKAN Healing Activation for this week is actually to optimize and harmonize our relationship in terms of our individuated selves right now, our relationship with big love. So again, we have a relationship with source, relationship with 0-point field, so to speak, and then right outside of that is the big love. And so we can optimize and harmonize our relationship with big love. That is what I have been instructed and guided to offer. So if you were interested in receiving this TOLPAKAN Healing Activation, you can just make the intention to receive. We're going to go into the 0-point field together right now through stillness, through observing internal movement. That is one of the ways you can go through. And in the way that you focus your energy, or your attention rather, on the energy of the body, that helps still the mind and therefore helps get you connected to the 0 point field, the seat of all creation, and so we can do our healing work the best there. So if you'd like to follow along, if you're brand new, you can go ahead and move your body. You can shake, you can shimmy, you can rub your hands together, make it nice and hot, nice and hot. All right, and then relax, close your eyes, but it's safe for you to do so. Focus on the inside of your body. Feel underneath the skin the vibrations that you just created. Follow that flow of energy wherever it goes. And maybe even today, look at or observe the rest of your body as a whole. Do you feel the vibrations in your whole body? Even just a tiny bit, instead of segmenting into different parts of the body. So now we're entered the 0 point field. I'm going to speak some TOLPAKAN healing activations, and you can just sit back and receive, make that intention to receive, and let me know afterwards, after we're done, how that feels in your body. Here we go. I now command that the relationship between you and big love, all of us and big love, be harmonized and optimized in the highest and best way, all directions of time and all timelines where we exist in the infiniverse and all beings with ease, speed, and grace. Thank you. So just kind of allow that energy to settle in, make a note of how that feels in your body, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Okay, so I'd love for you to comment below. I love reading your comments, and let me know what you think about the whole big love thing. Again, I'm taking dictation, so I can barely understand it myself. I'm just letting you know what I've been told. And then let me know how the TOLPAKAN healing activation feels for you. For some people, it can be kind of emotional. Others, it can just be really, kind of a gentle thing. So I'm very curious to see what you think and what your experience was in receiving that particular activation. So some announcements this week. On Monday, we have the airing of a Light Warrior Radio podcast with my friend 𝗟𝗚𝗛𝗢𝗪. And she is a teacher of water bending. Yes, how to create the life you desire through water bending, basically water alchemy. Very, very interesting stuff. Now, in TOLPAKAN healing, I'm so used to directly communicating with water. Her way is very interesting, where it uses a Lemurian crystal underneath the tongue, and it analyzes what it is that your body needs based on the intention you have for healing or manifesting. And then you program your water using that crystal by putting it in the water for 6 hours or so, and then drinking it the next day. So maybe you've already done this. If you have, you can also let us know in the comments what it's been like for you. But she had some people that, lost a bunch of weight just doing that. That sounds pretty cool to me. So we'll give you all those details in the show. So I'm going to post some information below this video with the links to connect with the show when it airs on Monday at 12 noon Eastern. And we have some cool stuff, new stuff announcements. Number one, the Anxiety SOS program. It's a program I launched through the UWealth Revolution. And our package B includes live sessions with me. So live group healing with me, 4 sessions starting in June on Fridays. And here's the thing, I don't often do live sessions for new programs anymore. So this is a very rare opportunity to work with me live. And also, the more the merrier, meaning that the more people that are in the room, if you will, as we're doing healing work, the more powerful the work is. It's like a lot of love in the room, you know what I mean? So I'd love for you to join me, because I cannot promise you that I will have something like this in the future. This is the only time where Anxiety SOS, which is a program geared towards sensitive souls, helping them heal their anxiety themselves through biological, spiritual, environmental, dimensional, different aspects of healing, and being able to do that in a very deep way, that this price point will never occur again. It's part of the contract. And so this is $147 for package B. You get 4 live sessions plus the whole training program that goes with the student portal and training program. So if you have not checked it out, please do. You can check out the link below this video and sign up before June 9th is the first class, and I'd love to see you there. And by the way, if you have household family members with anxiety, or they just want to learn light medicine and what we do, you can include them in that package B. They just sit right beside you while you're watching, and we will include them in the healing basket and do healing on them as well. So that's kind of cool. All right, next announcement is that for the Light Warrior Training Camp, last call, there's just a few weeks left before we actually do the live camp. It's an in-person 5-day camp. You work very closely with me, it's small groups, and you're going to learn all sorts of skills, and I get to, check and give you some feedback on it. Things including healing by proxy prop, a little bit of telekinesis, a little bit of level 2 telepathy, and perception kung fu, nirvana of no, all sorts of things. There is something special about working live and in person and getting feedback and working with other people. It's different from just reading a book. So if you are kind of on the fence, I'd be like, get it now. Register now, and it's at thelightwarriortrainingcamp.com. And it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful time together, and beautiful memories are going to be made, I'm absolutely sure. So would love, love, love for you to be there in person working with me. And the last announcement for this week is that my friend Lottie Cooper, who is an energy healer, she recently launched on From Heartache to Joy, one of the global telesummits, and she has a really neat interview on DNA activation and reverse aging. So if you're interested in receiving this DNA activation, listen to that interview and check out her offer. I will put that link near this video so you can check it out. Just keep in mind these interview replays are limited time only, so you want to check it out as soon as you can if you are interested. Okay, well, that's this week's Spiritual Medicine Digest. Thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you again next time. Lots of love. Bye for now.